When they ask, do I have remorse about Charlie Kirk?
And be real.
Can you
Wait.
Can you fall?
Wait, I'm feeling my remorse. Wait, chill.
Can you fall?
No. I mean, I would if I could, but I can't. Because it wasn't no remorse for Latasha. It wasn't no remorse for you, Seth Hawkins. And there wasn't no remorse when the motherfuckers kicked my ass. So they can all motherfucking die so they respect me as a motherfucking man and every black man out there.
When they ask, do I have...
I hate when I rap.
Oh man, that's funny, man.
Kurt, I'm gonna be honest. I'm happy. You know why? Because now white people get to feel what we've been feeling when our leaders get killed. That's right. You see how they feel? The only difference with them is that they force the empathy on everybody else. Our people, they don't. When they killed the Black Panthers off, they didn't. The internet and not the internet at that time, but the mass media demonized them. So the difference with Charlie Kirk is that the internet is trying to make us feel sorrowful for a man who's a bigot that we don't care about. So now, I'm happy they get the feel. Now, whether he lived or died, I don't care less. I could care less. If he would have survived, I don't care. If he would have died, I don't care. But the point is, I'm happy they get to feel the pain we felt when Martin Luther King died. They get to feel the pain we felt when Malcolm X died. They get to feel the pain that we felt when Fred Hampton died. They get to feel the pain that we felt when Emmett Till was killed. They get to feel the pain that we felt when Nat Turner was killed. Y'all feel about your...
He said that, Turner. Oh man, that's funny. Alright, I'm going to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rechakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the bishops at Great Millstone. It's your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson, Lord's will satisfying.
Mexican restaurants. You want white culture, you go fucking live in it. You live in it, bathe in it. Like, that's the only thing that I see when you get all white people together in the United States. There's no culture at all. So they have to go borrow culture from people. Even the word woke, they've borrowed from black culture. I went to a Mexican restaurant with my parents, my son, my husband over the weekend. And there's just all these MAGA-looking people in there. And I thought, you've got a lot of fucking nerve coming in here. Coming into this Mexican restaurant where every single waiter...
Yo, man, this is beautiful, man. Here it is. She's in a Mexican restaurant, enjoying her meal, looking at a so-called white man. And this is what's going on in their heads, man. And that's the so-called white woman, man. She getting tired of you, man. And this is how it starts. Your women start to despise you. Esau, man, it's hilarious, man. I just gotta grab a precept real quick while it's fresh in my mind. It's that shameful. You needed this for a long time, man. I'm surprised the Lord is you have time, man. I love to see it. I think that's Nahum. What's going on here, man? Just gotta go to Nahum. Not Nehemiah. I don't know why it's still loading. What's going on here? Oh, it's Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Okay, so thou art filled with shame for glory. Okay, you glorify yourself in the rape, rob, and murder of other people. That's number one. You know, number two, you talk all this shit about other people, but yet you're going into their restaurants, eating their meals, then you go in and talk shit about so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? Meanwhile, you glory in your shame, man. Your forefathers were a bunch of nasty motherfuckers, man. That's all they were. You can't be acting nice with these people, man. That's what you showed the whole world, at least us. I understand this dynamic with Esau, man. So I'm all for it. You can't just hate a little bit about Esau, man. You either hate him 100%, just don't even date. He's coming down with great wrath, man. He's coming down with great wrath, and when he starts doing this shit to you, then you're gonna understand. Then it's better to know now. Okay, get your mind prepared for this now, because the Lord is exposing this nigga, man. He's a niggard at his own table. He's Esau, man. The bottom of the barrel type of person. Drink thou also and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Your foreskin is supposed to cover the head of your rod, man. If that's uncovered, guess what? It's exposed. He's exposing Esau, man. Okay? So he can't hide like he was before. Because his foreskin's being cut off. He being circumcised in front of everybody, man. He can't hide himself. He's the wicked. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee. Yet the judgments of the Lord are going to be turned on to the nation of Edom. Okay? For all their wickedness. And they got a big tab. Okay? We committed wickedness as a nation. And we're suffering the curses. They are committing wickedness, and they're going to be suffering these curses too. You want to claim to be Israel, you Judah, right? Okay, hold down these curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. See how much you like that. See, the thing about the nation of Israel, see, a lot of people, they like the basketball, the acting, the cool swag, and all of that shit. They like the food. Your language and how you say certain things and come up with new things, and you can box and shoot a basketball, do a spin, make people break their ankles. You could do all these things, but when it comes to you suffering, family members getting put to death, going to jail, always scared for your life, living in the hood. They don't want any parts of that. You do all that. We'll just watch, and we can enjoy from far. And you try to detach yourself from the person, but you like what they do. Well, these curses is what they're going through, okay? And you trying to separate yourself from that, but you're gonna drink that cup, man. Is what I'm trying to say here. You're gonna be drinking this cup, and you deserve to drink this cup, man. And the Lord said, you're going to drink the dregs of the cup too. Okay? All of it. And shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. And that shameful spewing starting now with the prophets. It's starting now with your woman. The curses. Okay? All the way up till you're fully recognized as being Esau. When the whole world recognizes you as Esau, that's the full shameful spewing, because you got a long history in the Bible. Okay, all these precepts, the breakdowns, the things you've done in the past, 70 AD, even the first temple, the things, the perpetual hatred. It's just a continuation of your wickedness, and we're gonna see the end of you, man. Oh man, it feels so good, man. Talking about your end. Let's see if there's any cross references with shameful glory. Proverbs 3:35. The wise shall inherit glory, but the shame shall be the promotion of fools. Yes, shame shall be the promotion of fools, not glory. Okay, shame. You're not gonna want to be an Edomite in the kingdom to come, but you're gonna make it there. You're gonna make it to the kingdom of heaven. I know everyone's concerned if Esau's gonna make it to heaven. Esau is gonna make it to heaven. Don't worry. Okay. No one's gonna exclude him from making it to heaven. Now, will he endure after 1,000 years is the question Esau is gonna find out. Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And this is talking about Yahushua. Okay, he the one who wanted to poke him. He thought he was debasing him. He exalted him. Okay, and now he's not gonna come back as a lamb. The lamb was sacrificed, and now we can get back. Now we can get back right. Very simple. You're going to understand the humiliation ritual and being exalted. That's sort of like what Yahushua went through. Hosea 4:7. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. Okay, clearly that's talking about the northern kingdom, but it applies to Esau. He's going to turn your glory into shame. You glory about Babylon. How'd you get Babylon? You had to oppress the nation of Israel, the greatest nation in the world, in the Lord's eyes, who the Lord loves so much. And you told everybody they ain't the people. Now they're black. Okay. You didn't want to tell them who they were. You had this understanding. You're going to have to pay for that. There's no reason why we should. If it was up to Esau, we wouldn't know this knowledge. But see, the Lord gave it. This is how we know that Esau, man, come on, man. This nigga ain't nobody. He would have never gave you told you this. And he's not going to. He'd rather stay in your stead. Philippians 3 verse 19, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. Yeah, your glory is in your shame, man. You glorify in the blood of the Israelites. You glorify yourself in oppression of Israel, man. And coming up against the son. Okay. Drink thou also, Psalm 75:8, for in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth, shall wring them out and drink them. So you're going to drink the dregs. Okay, the sediment of the cup, man, which is the worst part. Just like we did. Isaiah 49 verse 26, and I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood as with sweet wine. And all flesh shall know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Okay, not Esau. Okay, why is he continuously talking about Jacob? There's Moab, there's Elam, there's all these other nations. There's a consistency with Israel and Jacob. He's not talking about anybody else. Isaiah 51:21. Therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord. Okay? So it shows you the differences. That thy Lord, the Lord meaning Yahweh. Okay? And thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people, who are the Israelites. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. So he's going to be removing this cup from the nation of Israel, the cup of trembling and the dregs of the cup, which are these curses. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflicted thee, who afflicted the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Esau, Edom, the so-called red man, white man. He is the red man. Okay, he afflicted you. Esau. Which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over, and thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over. And that's what you've been doing. You've been treading upon us, man, off the backs of our works, showing no respect to the labor that we've done, just like an oppressor. Okay, and who did that? You did that, Esau. Jeremiah 25 verse 26, and all the kings of the earth far and near one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall and rise no more because of the sword which I will send among you. That's right. The sword's coming to Esau this time, man. Same way he was in power, he was using the sword to take down you nations. The Lord got a mighty glittering sword for his ass. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me go grab this in Deuteronomy 32 and 40. I think it's 40, 41, somewhere around there. Let's see. Deuteronomy 32 and 40. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and will reward them that hate me. Okay, so he gonna reward you with death, with destruction. The glittering sword, these thermonuclear missiles. He tells you in Isaiah the 34th chapter that his sword shall be bathed in heaven and will yet come down upon Idumea. Let me grab that. That's talking about Esau. That never came down. When was a great sword that was bathed in heaven come down upon Idumea? It never happened. Yet, this is prophecy. Okay, so Isaiah, God's wrath against nations. Okay. Isaiah 34 and 4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Okay, so there's a lot to kind of break down in that, but the host of heaven shall be dissolved. You know, you dissolve something, it's like you're, in this case, you're destroying it, okay? Being rolled up together as a scroll is like a big explosion, okay? It's talking about these thermonuclear missiles, and all their hosts shall fall down. Host means army, okay? As the leaf falleth from the vine, and as the falling fig from the fig tree. So it's like it's ripe. You know, when a fig gets ripe, it falls. When like sort of like even an apple tree, man, they end up falling, man. Okay, when it's time for the pickings. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Going back to that glittering sword, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea, Greek way of saying Edom. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. So there's a people here that's cursed to judgment, and that's Esau. Okay. Another precept that comes to mind is Proverbs 16 and 4. The Lord have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Okay. Esau, day of evil. All right. Who's the wicked? Malachi 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So that's Esau, man. Okay. Jeremiah 51 and 57, and I will make drunk her princes and her wise men, her captains and her rulers and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake, saith the King, whose name is Yahweh of hosts. So you're going to sleep a perpetual sleep. Okay, Jeremiah calls it a perpetual sleep. You're never going to wake up again. Revelation 18 and 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works in the cup which she have filled to her double. So you're going to drink double. And it's talking about Babylon, your kingdom. And let thy foreskin be uncovered. Let's go into these precepts. Isaiah 20 and 4, so shall the king of Assyria, which also applies to the so-called white man Esau, lead away the Egyptians prisoners and the Ethiopians captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. So your allies, okay, they're gonna, they all going, anybody fucking with Esau, man. Okay? Just like Assyria took them down. So you can't trust in Egypt. You can't trust in this place. And the analogy in this case is the Isaiah the 20th chapter. Israel was thought that they can run away into Egypt when Assyria came in. Okay, but this is saying, so shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptians prisoners and the Ethiopians captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. So Egypt in this case is America. Assyria in this example would be the Lord's judgment. In this case, he's going to be using the Medes. Okay, but long story short, even their allies are not going to be able to save them from the judgment that the Lord's bringing. America's allies. Hopefully I explained that right. Isaiah 47:3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And he said, we already read that. Nahum 3:5, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Okay, so you're being exposed. These kingdoms are seeing your wickedness, man. That's why Qatar is even coming up with some, they understand you coming up against their sovereignty. You doing sloppy shit. You think you're way proud now. You think I can do whatever the hell I want. Well, these other nations, you know, they're talking about you, Esau. They're talking about destroying you, man. That's what they want. And it's really because the Lord is raising them up, man. Jeremiah 25 and 27. I already read that. Isaiah 28:7. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way. Through strong drink they err in vision. They stumble in judgment. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Yeah, so ultimately your prophets and your priests prophesied lies, you know, for reward. Okay, and they think that there's nothing gonna happen to them, because the Lord ain't been judging anybody really like that, you know. But as we get closer, we're gonna see who's really telling the truth, and they're gonna be preserved, and who's not telling the truth, they're gonna be destroyed. Hosea 7:5, in the day of our king, the princes have made him sick with bottles of wine. He stretched out his hand with scorners. Let's look into this. This is talking about, describes a scene of corruption and decadence, where during a royal holiday, the king's princes are drunk and associate with mockers or scoffers. The princes have become sick from the heat of wine, and the king reaches out in association with these irreligious, scornful companions. This verse illustrates the moral decay within the leadership of Israel, highlighting their involvement in wickedness and rebellion against God. And yeah, that applies to Esau. That moral decay. We're seeing it, man. We're seeing it in the crimes that are happening. The you know, in the most latest event when Mr. Kirk got shot in his neck, you know, how people feel about that. Other people, he's, you know, it's a shameful spewing, man. They're talking, you know, people's opinions are not great about that person. But then you got other people trying to push, like crying and shit about somebody who that didn't even care about you. A lot of y'all are reprobates, though. This is the type of, and the Lord's pretty much exposing people's inner like their thoughts, man. When you say certain things about certain things, and then other situations happen, and you don't say anything about that, it really reveals what type of person you are. So the Lord is actually exposing pastors, priests, through these situations, by the way they answer towards these things. Because you might look at Jake on Israelites on the corners, but they're pretty much consistent about who the devil is. Okay, but you Christians tend to, actually I can't say all Christians, and it sucks that we kind of box all Christians, because a lot of these YouTube Christians who come out against Israel ain't even. A lot of people probably don't even consider them Christians. They probably consider them content creators, the way they be acting, man. There's a weird, I don't know, people got that content creator spirit on them. They don't teach like the modern pastors. They got their own church. They're very, they're not really, I've never seen Christians really get into debates like that, man. But now they're starting to try to switch themselves up. Esau got a street team now, and they're trying to come up against this word, but they're foolish, man. And I'm thinking of God Logic crying about Kirk, man. Like, for what? For what? I don't get it. Let me finish this video.
Obviously, English was their second language. Served with a smile. They run a great little local business. And Oklahoma City is a better place because of these hard-working immigrants.
Of course it is, man. Israel built up this whole country. Of course it is, man. You listen to some regular music on you imagine no Mariah Carey, no Jennifer Lopez, no I don't even know everybody, man. There's just so many of them. They bring flavor there. The scriptures call Israel the salt of the earth. Okay. The salt of the earth. Matthew. Oh shit, I fucked up. Salt of the earth. Matthew 7. Nope. Matthew 5. Let's go there real quick. Matthew 5 and 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. Okay. Is that the one I'm looking for? Let's just put in salt. But you are the salt of the earth, man. I'm definitely looking at Matthew, though. That's pretty much it. Everyone looks to Jake as cool and all that shit. That's part of the salt, But that salt's supposed to be used specifically for this word, man. Bringing people to the Lord, not playing basketball and dunking and shit like that. Wearing your shoelaces in a way that look cool so people can be like, oh, I want to do that. No, you're supposed to make righteousness look like the best thing that ever happened, man. That's the best way to go. And make righteousness look good. That's why Esau wants you to be wicked, because you make wickedness look good, because you're the salt of the earth. You putting salt on wickedness, man. But the Lord's removing that salt by you seeing men coming out, making their body a living sacrifice for the Lord, man. getting right back to their customs and actions and not following the so-called white man. Being a demon out here, man. Being gay, being a gun-toting damn heathen, being, oh, I'm so damn smart, but you're stupid as fuck and got no common sense. That shit's whack. Oh, I like paper money without resources. You're an idiot. That's dumb, you know? And the more and more you get into the spirit, man, it makes this nigga's kingdom look fucking, it's brittle. It's nothing, you know? He's nothing. He ain't got no salt, man. Nobody want to be ruling over this nigga, man. You know, you can't even really have any good words to speak about this nigga.
Coming here. But I cannot imagine the working immigrants that come in, run a great little local business restaurant where every single waiter, obviously English was their second language, served with a smile. They run a great little local business, and Oklahoma City is a better place because of these hard-working immigrants that come in here. But I cannot imagine the horror they feel when they are driving to and from work, when they might have a hearing on their legal status. I can't imagine the people who...
She making some good points, man. Making some good points. But her bringing up those points, she has to acknowledge the fact that the reason why you in the position that you're in is that shameful glory, man. You can't even glory yourself in that because it's a shame that's attached to it. And that's in all aspects of everything you have, man. 500 years of, you're supposed to be 500 years ahead of us, and we on the same level as you. Some jakes are on the same level as you, man. Cause you're the Lord. Like when you do something to show, like nigga, you really ain't shit. That's the Lord showing you. You Edomites, you really ain't nothing, man. You really ain't nothing. That's why you hate on Jake. Jake make it look, he ain't even mad about nothing that's going on really like that. Jakes that don't know the truth or nothing, they're good, man. In their mind, they're like, they don't care about none of this shit, man. Nobody's crying over Mr. Kirk, man. More people gonna die. Someone's gonna die right now. Someone's gonna die today, tomorrow. Okay, and it's not going to be on the news. It's not going to be broadcast for everyone to cry about and everyone have an opinion. Everyone say, you know, oh, he was so great. Ain't going to be like that, man.
Who've already been taken from their lives, and to see these fat ass, pink arm, teeny weeny, beta pricks.
Pink armed. Esau, your arms pink. Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So she's right on the money, man. Pink is a derivative of red. Let's look it up. Is pink a derivative of red? Yes, pink is a derivative of red because it is created by adding white to red pigment, making it a lighter version of red known as a tint. While pink isn't in the spectral colors of a rainbow, it is part of the red color family and is sometimes called a pastel or a light red. Let me look at this word pastel. Yeah, pastel. Pastel, a crayon made of powdered pigments bound with gum or resin. Soft and delicate shade of a color. So pink is red, man. Same thing.
With their ugly ass wives, walk into this Mexican restaurant.
with your ugly ass wife, she said, man. Oh, shit. Oh, man. That is fucking hilarious, man. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to think of this preset where I know what this Job says it. It says your wife shall not warn you or something like that. Let's see what Job said. Let's put Job. Is it Job 2? I can't think. Job 27:15. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Let's look into Job 27:15. 27:15. Job 27:15 describes the ultimate downfall of the wicked. Malachi 1:4, Esau, Edom, stating that those who survive the wicked man's initial misfortunes will still be buried by the plague or swift, unceremonious death, and his widows will not mourn for him because they too may be wiped out or the circumstances are too shameful for lamentation. Well, it's part of the curses, man. Okay. Deuteronomy 28 and is it 50 something? Deuteronomy 28 and 56. Deuteronomy 28 verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Okay, just like the so-called black woman hates the so-called black man, it's gonna be the same thing with you. Okay, and that's a sign that your nation's gonna fall, man. The state of your women.
And sit down, smile, and be friendly. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your
Let me look at Cracker Barrel's menu, man. Cracker Barrel. That's where you should be eating, man. That's what y'all. Cracker Barrel menu. I might want to eat there, man. No, we don't need to see that. Allow while visiting the site. Allow this time. Honestly, that looked good, man. Of course, it never looks like that. This chicken and turkey, beef and pork. Esau love that shit. Look like simple dishes, man. They don't look bad. Get a biscuit, breakfast all day. What the hell is this? Yeah, this is what you like to eat for breakfast. Uncle Herschel's favorite breakfast: hash brown, 2 slabs of ham, and 2 sunny side up eggs. Grandpa's country fried breakfast. Yeah, you can go eat at Cracker Barrel, Esau. We ain't gotta go to a fine Mexican restaurant, man, where they make this good omelet with, oh man, I forgot the name of the omelet, but there's this Mexican omelet that is delicious.
Get your fat asses over to Cracker. Fat ass, pink arm, teeny weeny, beta pricks with their ugly ass wives walk into this Mexican restaurant and sit down, smile, and be friendly. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, but do not participate in any of the shit that makes America cool. And what makes America cool is multiculturalism.
Yeah, you steal from everybody, man. Even him, even with all this Egyptian shit. Pyramids and shit. You got that shit from him, man. But then you make him look like he's nothing but a ring in a lip. You know, that's where you got your wisdom from, man. The hell out of here, man. You steal from Moab. You know, you ain't got no culture, man. And she's right.
And if you want to triple Trump, and you want to browbeat DEI, and you want to browbeat gay people, and you want to browbeat black people, as you've been doing for 400 years, and you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes, you want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit, when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Kankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit. No one. Quit.
She's tired of you, man. She's tired of you, man. Go to Cracker Barrel, man. Go get you a butter pecan French toast bake with bacon on. Bacon is put fucking bacon on everything. This nigga is a demon, man. He got bacon patties. He got fucking ham. Oh man, you're a funny dude. Go to fucking Cracker Barrel, get your parasites, man. All right. I gotta finish watching this fight. I want to watch some news. Let's see what's out there. Terrence Crawford gives Canelo Alvarez. Yes, we know that. At Utah Governor Spencer Cox shares new details about Charlie Kirk's shooting suspect. Rubio visits Israel in wake of Qatar attack. I might have to read that. Exclusive young activists who toppled Nepal's government now picking. Jim Edgar death. Former Republican Illinois Governor Jim Edgar dies at 79. Kash Patel criticized for his actions and posts during Charlie Kirk shooting. Hochul endorses Mamdani for mayor of New York. Yeah, a lot of shit's gonna be changing in November. Let me read this. How much time more I got? I got plenty of time, but let's read this. Spend an hour. Jerusalem U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was in Israel on Sunday as its military intensified attacks on northern Gaza, flattening multiple high-rise buildings and killing at least 13 Palestinians. This nigga just be bombing whatever. Rubio said before the trip that he would seek answers from Israeli officials about their view of a path forward in Gaza following Israel's attacks on Hamas leaders in Qatar last week that upended efforts to broker an end to the conflict. His 2-day visit also represents a show of support for the increasingly isolated Israel as the United States holds what is expected to be a contentious debate next week on commitment to the creation of a Palestinian state. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu strongly opposes the recognition of a Palestinian state. So what does he recognize? Just kill everybody. Okay. That's what he wants to do, man. He just wants to kill everybody. Alright, I didn't look at all that. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Wants to kill everybody. There's something I had about Qatar, but I think I want to look into that. So Marco Rubio's in Israel, Qatar. Israel at war, day 710. Trump, Israel must be very careful. Qatar has been a great ally of the U.S. 8 hours. Qatar is violating our sovereignty every damn day, says Mark Levin. Trump, Qatar is a great ally. Whatever. Arab Islamic summit to warn Israeli attacks threaten normalization of ties. Draft resolution shows. Arab ministers meet on response to Israeli attack in Qatar. Can I read this? What's this saying? Arab ministers meet on response to Israeli attack in Qatar. Arab foreign ministers met on Sunday in the Qatari capital Doha to formulate a united response to Israel's brazen missile attack last week that aimed to assassinate senior leaders of Hamas in the city. Here it is, you invite somebody into your sovereign state, and then some other country thinks wherever they go, they can bomb it. And not care about any retaliation or nothing. What are people supposed to do? Just let this devil just do whatever the hell he wants? Or, no, man, they're going to start fighting this nigga. The ministers were laying the groundwork for an emergency summit in Doha on Monday that will bring together leaders of Arab and Islamic countries. The Israeli strike on Tuesday targeted senior Hamas officials who had gathered in the Qatari capital to discuss a U.S.-backed ceasefire proposal to stop the fighting in Gaza. It hit a residential neighborhood in broad daylight, killing several people affiliated with Hamas, as well as a member of Qatar's internal security forces. So you even attacked the Qataris, man. Hamas said it had failed to kill any other targeted officials. Israel has not released its own assessment of whether the strike had produced its intended consequences. They don't give a fuck. Okay, how were they getting this information, man? That's a good question to ask, man. All right. It's a good question to ask. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna end it right there. All is well. This was Edifying. Shalom.